A lot of people are saying or asking, is Jay-Z next? Again, Sister Jaguar Wright been talking about this. Jaguar Wright says Diddy better start snitching. Jay-Z is next. Calls out celebs who supported
Jay-Z in trouble as Diddy turns him in during confession. Jay-Z.
You want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately.
You won't believe how fast everything shifted. One moment the room was buzzing, and the next, complete silence, as Jay-Z flipped the entire narrative. The same man who once looked up to Diddy suddenly changed pace and delivered revelations no one saw coming. With calm precision, Jay spoke about things usually whispered behind closed doors, the kind of industry truths that can shake the highest levels of music royalty. And witnesses say the instant Jay started talking, Diddy's whole energy changed, turning pale like the air had been pulled from the space around him. It was the kind of moment that turns icons into headlines and leaves everyone wondering what Jay really knows, and why he finally chose this moment to let it out.
Is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s. And one day, Asner, Kushner, Diddy, and myself went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z. I've never been a Jay-Z fan, you know, like some of his music, the whole 9 yards. But when we went over to the, I think that was Prudential Center in Newark, and him and Puff met up, it was strange to me. Because I remember what Puff was trying to do. And then both of them, they was talking about something amongst each other, amongst all of us, and laughing and joking with each other. Then over the years, I see them giving garden parties. You understand what I'm saying? You could tell that the people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. So to separate him, when in fact they may be two of the same, but because Jay-Z is low-key, that low-key sneaky shit, and Diddy is, and was, rambunctious, just out with it, it don't mean that they're not two of the same. One just a little quiet with his shit.
What happened at the basketball game? When they ran into, you guys ran into Jay-Z?
They were just talking. They was talking amongst each other about their little white girls. They little skinny white girls.
And I mean, did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule, to go at Jay, yeah. He was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It's probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. I guess if he kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit, he could rise up in between both of them. You know what I mean?
From protege to powerhouse, Jay-Z just flipped the entire landscape, and everyone can feel the shift. Once Diddy was the king of hip-hop, while Jay was the hungry newcomer learning the game. What looked like mentorship ended up shaping a future titan. Now the roles have reversed. Jay-Z isn't just an artist, he's a global mogul whose presence alone can change a room. So, when he entered that courtroom, the energy shifted instantly, like a long-awaited move in a high-stakes chess match. Rumors say Jay has held onto major industry insights for years, and the timing of his actions has people talking. Whether it's business pressure or personal tension finally boiling over, one thing is clear: Jay-Z has made his move, and the fallout is only beginning.
So what are your thoughts on all the his celebrity friends that denounced those allegations and were like, this is false, and you know,
Liars.
they were saying, yeah, should they speak up now? Should they speak up now?
I think it's getting a little too late for those who are complicit. For the victims who have been too afraid to come forward because the diddler has been running around with impunity.
The diddler.
It's time for all of the victims to come forward. But for the people that have been denying it, you know what? Let's not be coy. You know, I am Jaguar. So let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a bean. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Should I keep going?
I mean, you're hitting it on.
Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Off of Justin Bieber alone.
Now, Carisha and Rick Ross just sat down together in an interview.
Yeah, I know. Two Diddy doo-wop bops. What a reunion. Only thing they got
Now,
Well, did he start snitching?
She threw it up. Yeah,
He better. He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is...
So, I know what she's saying, like, Diddy, again, this is all on if he make it to trial, but probably in order for him to get less time, he's going to have to take down a lot of people with him. That's the main reason why I said I don't know if it's going to make it to trial. You know, because if Diddy talks, ooh-wee. Oh, unless he's like just done, unless he's like, you know, I can't do no 20 years in jail. You know, like if they say, you know, we're gonna give you 30 years. If you talk, we give you 20. I don't know. I can't do no 20 years. I ain't gonna say nothing. I already know what she about to say.
everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened. happened to Corey. Diddy? I know that. You and Jay-Z. Down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot.
The age.
I would say, if those who don't know who Kathy is,
Kathy Coriana White, Jay-Z's.
The moment Jay-Z began speaking, the entire courtroom froze. No movement, no noise. Just a wave of tension that hit harder than anyone expected. Every head turned as he delivered his testimony with calm precision. No theatrics, just total control. In a steady tone, he started revealing industry stories and long-whispered concerns that caught everyone off guard. The kind of behind-the-scenes issues fans rarely hear and insiders never expect to surface. Witnesses say Diddy's reaction was impossible to miss. The confident mogul suddenly looked shaken, as if the weight of the moment caught him by surprise. And the craziest part? It felt like Jay-Z was only scratching the surface, speaking with the presence of someone holding far more than he was choosing to share. People exchanged stunned looks, realizing they were watching a turning point unfold. It wasn't just testimony, it felt like a reckoning, a shift in power that sent shockwaves through the entire music world.
Part of it, but they were around it. So it doesn't matter how they want to say it. If they come out and apologize, there's going to be more questions. If they don't say nothing, there's going to be questions. I have heard some things about the camp from Jay-Z, not from Jay-Z itself, and seen some things as well, I would say, but I want to be very careful here, that show similar puffy behavior, okay?
You said from the camp of, not directly him, but people in his team. Got it, just to clarify.
People, exactly, and very famous people. So again, it's just things that you wouldn't think that they will ever be capable of doing, but then they are doing it. So, but I'm not saying he did or did not. Jay-Z itself cannot say that.
But have you spoken to people since this has now broke even bigger and more? Are people feeling more confident? Have you heard from specific people that you believe have gone through the ringer on this?
Yeah, I mean, I have spoken to some people, and a lot of them are very broken, especially people that been in this industry for a very long time, that just have been silenced and been afraid of, what if I'm out of this circle? What am I going to do with my life, right? But they have actually recognized the abuse and seen, okay, that's not normal. Because a lot of people, they just felt like, well, it's just a part of this business and it's normal and it shouldn't be normalized. So I think it's good that all these things are coming out and people can actually heal and free themselves. If they come out and do a lawsuit or not, that's up to them. But sometimes it's just a healing.
Just when it seemed things couldn't get any crazier, Jay-Z pushed the intensity even higher, sending a shock through the entire courtroom. The moment he opened his mouth, the room shifted. Judges, lawyers, everyone leaned in as he calmly laid out what insiders describe as years of questionable industry moves. He spoke about hidden deals, silent partners, and contracts so one-sided they stunned the room, all delivered with a coolness that made every word land even harder. The tension climbed with each detail, the courtroom frozen as his steady tone cut through the silence. It wasn't loud or dramatic, it was controlled, calculated, and powerful, leaving people wondering how many more industry secrets he's still holding onto.
Stories and everything like that, because this is stuff that happened back in the day. And then maybe that if they knew there was going to ever be a YouTube, or they knew there was going to ever be social media, a lot of the stuff probably wouldn't have got played out like it did. But things happen, and these are just stories from the past. I would like to use that as what you call that, just to clear the facts up what's going on. But it all started, we was in Atlanta. And this story starts when I'm with Puff and he's in the exotic bookstores and he's doing shopping, right? He's shopping, getting his stuff and everything like that. So, you know, this is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. So I said, damn, he got to go put it on the counter and, show everybody what he's getting. So as he going, I'm just looking at the places where he picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked quite a few of them down. I was like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there and it said butt plugs. And I was like, hey, yo, I was messing with him because people don't understand, we was like friends. He was a part of the same gang. So I'm still going to tease him. I'm still going to mess with him and everything like that. I could do that. It wasn't just no security thing. So I say, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said butt plugs. And he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you could do it by yourself, brother. And he started walking and everything like that. When he got I just waited at the counter. So when he got to the counter, he didn't even have to show the guy nothing. He just gave the guy a wad of money. I mean, like he gave the guy a stack something like this. And Puff wasn't the dude that carried no 20s and no 50s and nothing like that. And I mean, like he just said, boom. And we walked out the store. So we had to leave Atlanta and go to North Carolina for a show. You understand? And it was him, this rapper, Sarah, and this other girl. We all got on a G5 jet, and we flew to G4 jet, and we flew to North Carolina. So later on that, I think that afternoon, same day, this rapper and him, they all in the room together. It's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. So I'm hearing at the door and stuff like that, like, yeah. So then next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. We had the presidential suite where we was at. So I opened the door and the dude said, yo, I'm here for my cousin. I said, who your cousin? And he said, Ja Rule. I said, well, he busy right now. He said, he busy doing what? I said, he with Puff. They're in the room, they busy, they don't want to be bothered. He said, well, I'm going in there. I said, bruh, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them. And he was like, yo, I don't care, man. I'm going in there. That bull like that. I said, yo, bruh, Jesus Christ had to come down here and take the air out of my body before you get in that room right there. Watch. He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed his and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, Gene, that's my cousin. He know me well, and Puff was like, yo, Gene, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on. So I was like, oh, he said it was a lot of freaking going on. So that was basically that story, man. You know what I'm saying? They went back in the room. Dude felt a certain kind of way and he left out. So I seen them at the concert the next day and they tried to, form up against me. But my man Frank was like, I told my man Frank, I was like, yo, Frank, put yourself in that position. Somebody trying to get in the room and Ja told you don't let nobody get in the room. What would you do? Now, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, man. But I ain't taking no losses. He said, yo, you good. And that was it. Bro, when Ja said, you don't want to come up in there, a lot of freaky stuff is going on.
And girl, let me tell you, the reaction in that courtroom was unreal. It wasn't just gasps, it was full-on shock, the kind of moment that felt more like a major concert than a legal hearing. But the real focus wasn't the crowd, it was Diddy. One moment he looked calm and untouchable, and the next his whole energy shifted, like the weight of the room suddenly hit him. Why? Because Jay-Z dropped a revelation that sent waves through everyone listening. He didn't scream or point fingers. He simply shared accounts and long-circulating industry rumors about pressure, control, and behind-the-scenes tactics that people have whispered about for years. As he spoke, the atmosphere tightened, the room practically holding its breath while the tension thickened. Jay-Z wasn't dramatic. He was steady and precise, and that made his words land even harder. By the time he finished, it wasn't just Diddy feeling the spotlight. The whole music world felt like it had been pulled onto the witness stand, leaving everyone wondering who might be mentioned next.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's cold world.
If it was good enough to be a television episode, it should be good enough to be reopened for charges. Because clearly there were other people that knew the truth of that story.
The fact that Keefe D is in jail for Pac's murder, do you feel like they may go even deeper to the 90s in regards to just asking?
They have to, because that's the beginning of everything that's leading up to the tragedies that are about to happen now. We have to go back to the beginning. Everybody knows at this point in time, Keefe D ain't do it. He's already made it very clear he had a profit deal, which means he's been working with the government all this time. When are people going to start asking how long Diddy and Jay-Z have been cooperating with the government as well? Everybody was cooperating with the feds but them? Doesn't make any sense. What I do know, though, is that everyone is starting to notice things that they didn't notice 15, 20 years ago. Suge isn't looking like the monster that everyone painted him out to be.
That's what they were saying.
And Diddy sure ain't no quiet boy. The more we start to uncover things, we're starting to realize that whatever we've been led to believe, it's actually the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Like I told you, you guys got to talk to that girl, Love Jones, and talk about her times last summer on a Sprinter van, and where she was put in the van given a drink of DeLeon. She said it didn't feel like an alcohol high. It felt different. She felt tingled all over almost instantly. Y'all need to talk to her. Because she was partying with, I believe, Justin and Christian Combs.
The Sons.
This was last summer.
The Sons. You know, a lot of people was like, man, that's messed up. I wonder how his kids feel. And I was like, hold on now. You know, because a young one made that diss track. You know, I told y'all about the dry snitching he did. And a lot of people are saying that, you know, they were helping recruit some of them girls. So, what's that song? It's a family affair. It's crazy. Crazy, man.
Diddy walked in looking every bit the confident superstar, but by the end of the hearing, he seemed like someone watching the ground shift beneath him. What unfolded felt straight out of a movie. He entered sharp, polished, and certain he had the room under control. But the moment Jay-Z began speaking, the energy flipped. With each calm, measured statement, witnesses say Diddy's reactions shifted fast. Surprise, tension, frustration, and disbelief washing over him in real time. His eyes widened, his jaw tightened. His hands clenched, like he was trying to steady himself while the spotlight got hotter. Jay-Z didn't raise his voice or break composure. That controlled delivery only made the moment hit harder. It felt less like a clash and more like watching a long-standing image start to crack at the edges. And now the big question is floating around the industry. Is this the moment that marks a major turning point for Diddy, or does he still have one final move left?
And speak and come forward. But until they're good for it, I'm going to keep doing it. The Jay-Z victims are going to be worse.
Oh.
They're worse because of the psychological torture that comes along with what he does. Like I said,
do you think Jay-Z is scared right now?
Oh, he's terrified. He's terrified. He's losing confidence everywhere. But the only confidence he's worried about keeping secure are those white boys that he worked for. That's his only loyalty.
I said it.
Not even to his wife is he loyal.
But what do you think? And just again, hypothetically, if his kids, as young as they are, asked, "Daddy, who's that man on TV getting arrested? Isn't that your friend?" What would his response be?
He wouldn't respond. He would just laugh and walk away. That's Sean Carter.
Them kids ain't watching no TV.
He doesn't own up to anything. Ever. Gaslight you right in your face. Do it smooth. He's a sociopath. He doesn't have any real feelings or emotions. Everything is transactional.
Even his marriage.
You know? I think the only time he's really comfortable and happy in his own skin is when he's laying in the warm embrace of a man.
Jack, come on. Jack.
What?
Come on, man. You can't paint those kind of pictures into people's heads, man.
Why it got painted in the mind with the videotape that I saw of him looking very happy in the embrace of a man. I didn't want to believe it.
Damn, okay. Well, Jack,
I couldn't believe it. Then it all made sense, you know?
Jack, what was the last conversation that you and JC had? How did that go?
He told me he was going to end my career and make sure no one in the world ever...
It was one of those moments where everything stopped, the courtroom frozen as everyone watched the tension unfold. Witnesses say Diddy, once the symbol of confidence and power, looked overwhelmed as the pressure rose, sitting noticeably shaken while the room fell silent. Jay-Z spoke with calm precision, and every word felt like it carried weight, leaving people stunned and whispering about what might come next. Rumors spread fast, questions about industry secrets, behind-the-scenes deals, and long-kept stories that could shift entire narratives. Even Diddy's team looked rattled, scrambling to keep up with the moment. What became clear was that this was a turning point, a public crack in an empire built over decades, leaving everyone wondering how much more could surface.